Thomas has been to the works to be mended. He felt much better. Recently, he had an accident where he fell off a cliff. But now he has been repaired and is back to work. Later, Thomas saw his best friend Percy at the junction. "Hello, Thomas," said Percy. "I'm glad you're back." "Hello, Percy," said Thomas, "and it's good to be back." "Yes," agreed Percy, and he chuffed away. Then later, Thomas saw Gordon at a junction. Thomas always liked teasing Gordon. "Hello, lazy bones," said Thomas. "Puh," sniffed Gordon. "You calling me lazy? I'm an important engine. I pull the express, and you're just a silly little tank engine." "Says the lazy engine who fell into a ditch," laughed Thomas. Gordon was cross. He didn't like being reminded of the time when he fell into a ditch. "Puh, oh yeah?" said Gordon crossly. "Well, guess what? At least I'm not a stupid engine like you who passed the danger sign and fell into a mine, and then I had to come and rescue you. Don't you remember that?" This made Thomas very cross. He didn't like being reminded of the time when he fell down a mine. Yeah, that's what I thought," said Gordon. "Now if you'll excuse me, I gotta go get my express coaches," and he fumed away. That big blue bossy boiler," said Thomas crossly. Later, Thomas was resting at Tidman's sheds. Then Sir Topham Hatt arrived on board James. "Hello, Thomas," said James. "I'm glad that you're mended. And, since you're mended, I want you to work with Ryan to pull some troublesome trucks." "Yes, sir," said Thomas. "I have some very important jobs to do. Sir Topham Hatt will always choose me for an important job because I am the brightest red engine on Sodor," said James excitedly. "All right, James, that's enough showing off," said Sir Topham Hatt. James said nothing. He just puffed away. Thomas enjoyed working with Ryan. Him and Ryan are really good friends. Later, after a long day, Thomas and Ryan were talking to each other. "Thank you for helping me out, Ryan," said Thomas. My pleasure," said Ryan. "I'll do anything for you." Thomas said nothing. He just fell fast asleep. The next day, Thomas was working with Salty. He had to drop off a freight car at the docks for Salty. "Hello, Salty," said Thomas. "I am happy to be back from being mended again."
"Oi, glad you're back, me hearty," said Salty.
Cranky loaded some fruit on Salty's flatbed because Salty had to take some fruit to the market. At last, once Salty's flatbed was loaded, he rolled happily away. Salty arrived at the market to drop off some fruit. Then he rolled away to go see his friends. Salty decided to tell his two friends Mavis and Diesel at a junction about Thomas.
"Oi, me hearties, Thomas is back to work after being mended."
"Oh, that's good," said Mavis. "I'm glad he's back."
"Puh," snorted Diesel. "Of course he's back. That silly little tank engine is always cheeky and gets into accidents. He is not useful at all."
Mavis was cross. "Diesel, stop it. Don't talk like that about Thomas. He's still a really useful engine, even though he's cheeky."
"Oi, Mavis got a point there, matey," said Salty. "Even though Thomas is cheeky, he's still a really useful engine."
"Yeah, Diesel," said Mavis. "You heard Salty. Even though he's very cheeky, he's still a really useful engine. Look at you. You're the main villain of the show, but you're still very useful." "Yeah, you're right," sighed Diesel. Later, Thomas was resting in a siding when Diesel came to see him.
"Hello, Thomas," said Diesel. "I'm glad you're back from being mended again. And also, I know that you are a really useful engine, even though you're very cheeky."
"Hello, Diesel," said Thomas. "I think you're really useful too, even though you're the main villain of the show, but villains are also really useful." And both engines laughed.